Most people only see the flat surface of the Nullarbor and they drive from east to west or west to east, 2 days of one road and not much else to see. But underneath, it is riddled with holes.
It feels like you're crossing time and going into something very special.
It's the world's largest arid limestone karst, 200,000 square kilometres, that is completely honeycombed. And some of them are completely full of water, and the only way to explore them is with diving equipment.
The Nullarbor Caves were formed over millions of years by rainwater seeping into the porous limestone of the plain and then making its way towards the Great Australian Bight. There are no rivers or lakes on the surface. Instead, they're all underground.
Now, when you go into these caves and see the lakes or dive in them, you can't feel a current. It's moving so slowly, but it is still moving. It's just magnificent. It's like flying through space.
Stefan Eberhard has been visiting the Nullarbor Caves since the 1980s.
3 to 5 million years ago, the climate on the Nullarbor Plain was much wetter, and a lot of the caves probably developed at that time. Aesthetically, they're just beautiful to look at, stunning. And there's a remarkable diversity of cave-dwelling invertebrates on the Nullarbor, which occur nowhere else in Australia or anywhere else in the world. There's a giant blind cockroach. There's a gigantic blind cave spider. I love bringing that world to people that don't want to go and get cold, wet and scared.
Around 10,000 caves and karst features have been identified in the region so far, and experts say that's just the beginning. This country has been inspiring and sustaining humans long before the Eberhards began exploring it.
Our connection to country is who we are. We are coming back from displacement. Each family are connecting to each cave, as well as the rock holes that provide a water system to the caves. I remember the first time we went out there, would see the coastline, I'll feel that cold, cool breeze. It gave us a sense of home.
Shiloh Peel is the chair of the Mirning Traditional Lands Aboriginal Corporation. In 2017, the Mirning people were granted native title over 33,000 square kilometres of land in Western Australia's far southeast. In 2019, that determination took effect 18 years after they first lodged their claim.
It's amazing recognition for our mob. Both my parents were applicants on the original claim. They did so much hard work and groundwork to get us recognised in the federal courts. It is one of the proud moments for us.
Native title gives the Mirning people exclusive possession and control over a huge section of the Nullarbor and the caves beneath, and they have a decision to make. The group has been approached by developers wanting to use this land to host one of the world's largest renewable energy projects, the Western Green Energy Hub. 25 million solar panels and 3,000 wind turbines. The project will generate around 50 gigawatts of renewable power, which will be used to create 3.5 million tonnes of green hydrogen each year. Western Green Energy Hub isn't expected to make a financial decision on whether to progress the plan until 2029. First, they need to negotiate an Indigenous land use agreement with the Mirning.
There's a long process, community consultations. We would have to make sure that all our cultural sites, heritage sites are protected.
Under the proposal, Mirning Green Energy, the commercial arm of the Mirning Traditional Lands Corporation, would become a 10% shareholder in the project. The Mirning would have a permanent seat on the board and the opportunity to become a majority shareholder in 50 years.
It can create jobs for our people. Just to have that sense of people going back to country, working for country and being on country, We want our people to be one, united, and to be able to come back to country and to connect all together.
While it's what's above the plain that is attractive to the developers, The cavers say it would be a disaster for what's below.
If that development goes ahead, it will be the death of these cave systems. These caves are highly fragile, highly sensitive. They contain very fragile sediments, bones, formations, stalactites, fauna, effectively like trying to put bricks on a pavlova.
Western Green Energy Hub says it's operating on an avoidance of impact principle and is mapping the area to create project no-go areas. To avoid visual impact, it says each turbine will be at least 2.5 kilometres apart and 15 kilometres back from the escarpment.
With our teams, we want to make sure that they are doing every bit to protect it all.
The effective footprint is 100%. Visibly 100%. It will not be possible to stand anywhere in that footprint or within 50 kilometres outside that footprint and not see wind turbines.
This is the only site the developers are considering. For the Eberhards, it makes no sense that this area should be open to development when the South Australian side is National Park.
The development can move elsewhere, the Nullarbor can't move anywhere.
Ultimately, the decision is the Murnings to make.
Our Mooning community, we are vast and wide, but they will come together, and they have come together to, work these processes through. So they will have the final decision.